Are you gonna comment on the cringe that is the Cybertruck crash? Yeah, but I don't think it's really worth a segment, man. It's just like kind of fucking terrifying is the thing. Actually, like, look at this. The Cybertruck right here doing a crash test at 35 miles an hour, by the way. So we're not even talking super high speeds, but you can see um, every other car has a functioning crumple zone like it's supposed to, and the Cybertruck doesn't. You can literally see, look at the dummies. Look, and well, that's your kid. That's your kid in the, you are the crumple zone. Um, can you explain what a crumple zone is? Yeah, okay. Building an indestructible car is actually really easy. It's made of like steel, and you can build more steel. It's great, super easy. In fact, for a long time, like in the 60s and stuff, like cars were indestructible. They were all tanks. The problem is that if you crash into something, your indestructible car comes to a sudden halt. Your body doesn't, and you get mulched by the inside of the car. You get smeared across the inside of the windshield like you've been fired out of a paintball gun, which is why car crashes used to be way more deadly than they are now. People will say like, "Oh, look at how sturdy the Cybertruck looks after the crash. Look at how like, wow, look at that. It's so durable. Only the front bit got." The problem is modern cars have fronts that are designed to crumple. And the reason for that is because the more time it takes to crumple, the more of the impact is absorbed in the collision, the less of that transfers over to you. Essentially, think of it as like a cushion, because it is literally a cushion. Basically, a cushion in any device is an object that means that if you hit it, it takes more time to bring your hand to a stop. And that difference can mean that punching concrete and punching, like, I don't know, a pillow, even though your punch stops in both cases in a fraction of a second, the difference there is massive in terms of the damage to your hand. Does that make sense? A concrete wall and a slightly padded wall, the difference in terms of your hand's deceleration can be like 1 microsecond or like, I don't know, 10 microseconds. Fuck, I'm making those numbers up. It's a very small amount, but that's the difference between your hand being uninjured and your hand breaking, like, internally, you know? So yeah, that's what we're looking at here, you know? The Cybertruck is also hitting a different kind of wall. Yeah, the Cybertruck is hitting a different kind of wall, yeah, but you can still see the way that it collapses, you know? There's nothing about the fact that this is a big shiny wall that changes the fundamentals here. So you're saying it's dangerous in a crash? Yes, I'm saying it's dangerous in a crash. Keep in mind, again, this is just at 35 miles per hour. It's the wheels, not the buckling. I mean, what do you mean? It's both. It's the lack of buckling. The wheels are their own issue. I also saw somebody online saying that the rear axle gets destroyed here, but I don't know enough about cars to really to like, you know, analyze that one. Also, it looks dumb. Yeah. I've seen a Cybertruck in person in Bellevue. Looks real dumb. It does look how it turns inside. You mean the wheel? Oh, shit. You're right. Wait, do the slow-mo. Yeah. Oh, you can see it buckles right up there. Whereas if, like, compared to this or whatever, the wheel kind of stays put. Oh man, you don't want your wheel going rogue on you. I don't think the Cybertruck has a rear axle. It does 4-wheel steering with a motor per wheel, I think. Yes, I don't know enough about cars. I'm looking at the wheel here and it's doing a wiggle, you know? To be fair, Elon is playing perfectly to his base with this one. That's true. Look at the 2 wheels in the back of the vehicle. Oh, you mean how... Oh. I thought you... So when you meant the wheel, I thought you meant the steering wheel, which is wiggling about a whole bunch over there. You mean the back wheels here, how they bend forward like that. Wait, that's... Yeah, that's not happening anywhere else. What physically is happening to the car to make that happen? That's okay, so there's the metal that goes down this way. So the rod that connects the front and the back axles would bend backwards and break that. That's really... Yeah, like the thing is... Something is getting pushed through the axle there that's bending it out like that. Huh. I think? Also, where are the door handles? What the... Sorry, buddy, you need a smartphone to open it up. There's a tiny little recessed keyhole that you can use to open it up otherwise, but apart from that, you better hope your Tesla Cybertruck app or whatever the is up. No, it's the weight of the tire stopping, forcing it forward. Yeah, but it's bending in. Do you mean the other one is too, or are you suggesting that these wheels aren't even on an axle and they're both bending inward? Rear wheel steering? Cybertruck is four-wheel steering. Does four-wheel steering mean your wheels can do this? Why would they do that? Yes? Rear wheel steering. Okay, so wait, this would be four-way steering. Four-wheel drive, right? Four-wheel drive mechanics explained. This sounds like bullshit. For what reason would you do away with an axle and have two wheels that could bend inward? You would want an axle for like stability and stuff, right? Like you don't want your wheels getting all floppy on you. Differential steering? That's not four-wheel steering. Not four-wheel drive, that's different. Okay. Okay. Rear wheel steering explained. I look up rear wheel steering and it's telling me about four-wheel steering. Okay, understanding rear wheel steering. If I learn that you're all lying to me, I'm gonna be mad.
Different way of moving a car across a lane, turn against or in the opposite direction of the front wheels, and again, at a lesser degree. This gives you a much tighter turning radius and maneuverability. The car can really make some tight cuts getting in.
Okay, this is all weird. Okay, rear.
And what this does when you are driving around town is make it feel like you've moved the pivot point of the car from where it typically, which is a stop. Kind of like what a skier does to slow down, which can help stabilize and slow. Kind of like magic when you drive something like this. Another smaller benefit is being able to tow in or picture tow the rear wheels during a hard stop. Kind of like what a skier does to slow down, which can help stabilize and slow a vehicle. Now note that rear wheel steering is distinct from rear wheel cornering system.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that. All-wheel steering. Four-wheel drive doesn't equal four-wheel steering. Man, you guys give me so much shit for being autistic about clothes or whatever, but like, oh, sorry that my autism wasn't about cars and I didn't know there was a difference between four-wheel drive and four-wheel steering. Yeah, oh, my bad. Sorry. How dare I become a political streamer while missing out on that prior knowledge, that essential knowledge beforehand, you know? Jesus Christ. Like, everyone gets mad at me when I'm autistic about something, but I have to be autistic about everything to keep up with the most insufferable of you. That still looks like it's too much, but whatever. Anyway, this is still a death trap. Marquis Brownlee reviewed the Cybertruck. He does a summary at the end of the video. Who the f is this?
All right, so the Tesla Cybertruck has been kind of an enigma. It was
#1 on trending.
Big things if they're going to work with it. It's interesting. I really feel like the biggest strength of the Cybertruck is it's got to be the power, the sheer force of 2.7 seconds 0 to 60, 850-ish horsepower. Like no.
Marquis makes good videos, but he simps a bit for Tesla. I don't trust tech YouTubers at all. The bigger a tech YouTuber is, the more likely it is that they rely entirely on hype. Like you don't get huge views as a tech person by being like, yeah, I'm gonna focus on actual tech developments and ignore this gigantic, ultra popular bullshit, like fucking, you know, sort of tech fetishist, you know, electric vehicle trend. I don't know why I should believe this guy, but okay.
No other truck moves in a straight line like this one does.
What?
But I'm also going to include the steering as a nimble. I get crazy. Just that people think it's ugly, and that's fine. A lot of people are going to think it's ugly.
Polarizing aesthetics, price parity, front visibility. Is this seriously it? This is what this guy has to say? Is this a car guy? He gets a chance to review the Cybertruck, and he's like, it's a very powerful car, but like some people say it's ugly and it's expensive, and you can't see it when you hit children. No, he's a phone guy? Okay, then I don't care. Yeah, there's no... This guy was probably paid to do the review. Well, yeah, he got a Cybertruck ahead of use. Or not paid for it, but like, you know, here, make a YouTube video off this. Tesla solar roof review, 10 million views. This guy isn't just an issue. This guy's literally doing their PR shit.
Grid at all. You're completely self-sustainable for that investment. So what I first signed up for in the morning when the sun comes up again. And there's even a storm watch feature that will preemptively
Tesla solar roof review. You know there are companies that have been doing like solar roof work for literal decades. And now Tesla? Like, no, f this. I can smell a shill. He did an interview with Elon Musk? Oh, yeah. Talking tech with Elon Musk 5 years ago. Yeah, okay. Yeah, This is literally, yeah, this is tech bro soy bullshit, okay? You guys need to have a better nose for this shit. Jesus Christ. Vaush, he's a tech influencer. All the people simping in chat are f***ing lunatics. It feels like Mr. Beast fans in chat or something. Jesus Christ. Vaush gonna get some very angry emails later. Well, yeah. I f***ing hate tech hype channels. You guys have no idea how much I'm holding back right now. I despise them. If people give me shit like, oh, you bought expensive pants where the denim yarn was hand-dyed by some fucking Japanese artisan, and then like, oh, yeah, dude, what about the guy, like the forefront advocates for conspicuous consumption? Buy a new phone, get hyped about tech, In a good world, you guys wouldn't even fucking know. You wouldn't even fucking know. You wouldn't give a shit about tech because your life is enriched by art. Okay, tech upgrades would be incidental news that eggheads with big glasses would occasionally reveal to the world. But no, instead you drop $3,000 every 2 years at a new graphics card, and you new phone, and I hate it. I hate the trap. I hate the cycle. I hate it. This is such boomer shit. Yeah, dude, it's so fucking boomer to not like spend 10% of your entire income on keeping up with a meaningless fucking rat race as you like the correctly functioning iPhone. They finished making the iPhone like 8 years ago. It's been marginal upgrades. They go back and forth on changes. Rounded edge, sharp edge, rounded edge, sharp edge. Here's a feature that should have been in 6 years ago that Google did that we haven't done because we were waiting to sell it to you. It's like, and you sheep. God, the only way to appropriately and respectfully regard tech companies is to hate them with every fiber of your fucking being, okay? That's the only way. If you don't feel pure hatred to them and the sycophants who promote their products, then you're not. Then you're disgusting. You're barely even human, frankly. The consumption of these products is fallible. It's fallible human. We're weak. We're suffering. We're all crawling around in shit and piss. We're opening our mouth to scream, and the shit and the piss is pouring into our mouths. And every once in a while, we gurgle shit and piss and cum, and we buy an iPhone. But you're in the shit and piss vat. You understand? There's a better world out there, okay? The better world is the one where everyone recognizes that they pretty much perfected smartphone technology like a while ago, and the only reason they should ever release new ones is that they have a fucking reason to. But we can't live in that world. Hey, graphics cards, by the way, don't need to be as strong as they are. The only reason they're this strong is because it's a fucking rat race, crypto miners, and it's like, oh, dude, now that everyone is fucking 64 gigs of RAM, what if we just pre-bake every game engine now with a bunch of graphic hog processes that marginally improve the like, guys, go play Starfield. That game looks like dog shit, but try running that in an old system. I mean, maybe you can if you turn the settings down far enough. It's just they're literally pressing buttons in the back end. Like, what if we made this shit can take up more computer resources to play because we have a reputation we have to cultivate for being a high-end product. Nobody's going to buy a PS5 unless all the modern games look like PS5 games. Everything has to cost more. I hate it here. I'm gurgling the piss and shit. We're all gurgling the piss and shit. Okay? Gamers have no idea how much optimization is not being done because of how powerful graphics cards keep getting. Yeah, literally, people make fun of game companies for doing this, where like now that everyone knows it's really cheap to get like a 20 billion terabyte hard drive, it's like, oh yeah, Western game dev moment, 200 gigabyte game, Why? Can you not possibly, I don't know, can we zip some of that shit up? Can we zip it down a little bit of compression, just a little bit? Do we really need like 4K textures on every grass blade? What are we doing here? What are we doing? But they don't have to, because you know why? Because they're the ones shitting and pissing. They see you. Bethesda sees you swimming in the piss and shit, and they're firing off more piss into it because they're adding to it. They don't care. They're not in the piss and shit. You're in the piss and shit. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They don't process. The optimization shit, like what Benjamin said, like there's a bunch of shit. How is it that some of these games run so poorly on modern engines? Because they don't give a shit. And you know what? They're in bed with the people who make those graphics cards. You know, graphics cards manufacturers want to sell you new bullshit, and game companies want to have a good relationship with those graphics card companies because they kind of work in tandem to sell each other as the new cutting edge tech, which is why you get bundle deals and why you have graphics cards that release and benchmark themselves against new modern games. So that way they can promote those new modern games as being the top of the line, super high end next thing you need to play, dog. Except they look like shit. They all look like shit. You know why? Because real artistic beauty comes from art style, not from graphical fidelity. As if they even have graphical fidelity. We had plenty of graphical fidelity in Bloodborne, didn't we? That game ran on 30 frames a second, and you could still take any screenshot from that game, that lower res game compared to modern PS5 games, and it would still look better than the vast majority of them because they had a good style and they knew how to use it. And still, we pour money into this rat race industry. You guys realize there is no end to it, right? They will invent. You will have liquid cooled fucking quantum computers capable of processing little universes, and somehow the graphics cards in those quantum computers will still not be adequate for the next line of games, which will look and play just like the old line of games, except, I don't know, maybe there's some new graphical feature you can turn on or off, and maybe you think it makes it look better, but you can't really tell. You can't really tell. You know, it looks about the same, but for some reason it takes up 60 times the computer resources that modern games that look the same do. So anyway, that's why I hate this guy. This guy is pissing and shitting, okay? He's pissing, he's shitting, huge amounts of piss and shit. 17.9 million people are drinking his piss and eating his shit. All up in their mouth. What about Linus Tech Tips? Yeah, him too. Though Linus Tech Tips also does useful shit, I will admit. Linus Tech Tips, the whole industry there, does so many things that some of them are valuable, but a lot of them aren't. Also, you know, there's the whole thing with the, what was it, unions, sexual, I forget what did he get canceled for? I don't know. You guys know they finished making the phone a long time ago, right? So it's okay to just go like, yeah, the tech is pretty much done. Tech doesn't have to advance indefinitely forever, year by year in every field. Sometimes tech advancement within a field doesn't really like, let me put it this way, okay? If they could get away with it, like this is what you people would fall for, okay? Imagine like a syringe company that tried to sell... No, that's not a good example because syringes are disposable. Let me try to think of a technology that... Oh, I have one! I'm sorry, my bad. What about speaker companies? How many technological advancements do you think have been made in speaker technology year by year over the past half century? Some. I'm not saying it's none. I know enough to know that some has been done. But yet, multiple new versions of speakers come out every single year. Like, they aren't coming out with new speaker tech every 4 months. And yet, somehow, there are 50 brands, and all of them have 50 lines, and there's something new and different every time. They're always selling you on something. Why? Why? What are they selling you on? Nothing. It's all bullshit. The need to make money off of a line of products does not, the need to sell a given line does not always keep up with how quickly you can make technological advancements in that field. Technological advancements will happen, but shit, companies got to make money quarter after quarter. You know, tech advancements don't happen quarter after quarter. Microwaves never get commercials and never get new versions. They perfected it and doesn't need to change. Yeah, there was like one upgrade in microwave. I'm sure there was like a million tiny ones, but that's how they get you. That's how they get you. They get you with the little tiny upgrades. Oh yeah, microwave technology operates off of a fundamental universal principle, which is microwave electromagnetic radiation. You know, how do we change that? How do we improve the radiation? You can't. It's just how the universe works. So how do you sell new microwaves when a microwave can work, you know, forever, basically, if it's maintained? New button, make a little thing. What if we made a little computer with a program that could have been done by like a freshman computer science student, have it so you can program in preset times for given meals, you know, get $100 more, let's go. Why? Actually, Vaush, they added spinning plates to properly heat. Spinning plates! Yes! I mean, microwaves have been around for you know, like 3 times my lifetime or whatever, you know. They got it. They got the spinning plate. That must... Surely it was incremental advancements in the rate at which the plate spins that has led there to be 50 trillion variations of the microwave. I'm just saying, technology does not always keep up with either consumer demand or what companies need to meet their quarterly expectations. So some companies, you know, some companies can sell you the same things over and over and over, like aforementioned syringe company or whatever. Even that gets complicated. But, you know, you make a thing, if it works, people will dispose it. When they use it, they buy a new one. Great. Okay. Then you've got phones. Do you need a folding phone? Do you need a phone that folds open? Or is that this shit? Do you? The answer is no. No, you don't. Stop. If you want a bigger thing, get like an iPad or a regular tablet. This thing's going to be way the more expensive than just a normal ass phone. And also, what resolution are you watching videos in? 1:1? One resolution? How many videos are in one resolution? What is this, an Instagram specific? Didn't they used to do that? With their format, they don't even do that anymore. What? Yeah, I'm gonna watch my movie that's a 1. You know, it's bullshit. You're just gonna get giant black bars in the top and bottom. Think about it. Think about what the actual resolution would be if any video played on this after it's been folded open along that dimension. It's going to end up being pretty similar to just watch it on the side. Vaush, Pikmin 4 literally proves your point. That's right. What happens in Pikmin 4? It's a good game. It's good. Ever wonder why games that are like 500 gigabytes in PS4 can fit in a tiny Switch cartridge because they actually have to bother compressing? Yeah, well, to be fair, sometimes they have to compress a little too hard to make it fit on Switch. I remember the Mortal Kombat debacle. God, I hate tech. Oh. How do you feel about computer science people in general? Are they all tech bros or not inherently? No, not inherently. Computer science is really important. A lot of shit's code. Code's complicated, you know? It's important. I mean, sure, a lot of them are insufferable, but, like, you know, Technology Connections is the only good tech channel. That is so true. You can tell Technology Connections actually gives a shit about technology in, like, I don't want to say like an artistic way or whatever, but like he cares about it and marvels at its ingenuity and its complexity and its history, you know, and he's really passionate about it, and he's honest and straightforward, and he's really good. Yeah, he likes the art to it too. Yeah, his assessment of this stuff is really neat. I like his stuff, and he gets rewarded for it. He gets a lot of views. His video on car turn signals is amazing. Yeah, and it's like a year long. When you go to Technology Connections, you'll get like a really interesting video on a specific piece of tech that you can learn from. If you go to like any of those tech hype channels, you'll get somebody who has been either paid or heavily incentivized to get their hands on a product before you, so they can soy out about it and sell it to you for a bunch of views.